Welcome to Pop Culture Minefield's Saturday morning fun time. Get those breakfast bowls ready. Here we go.
Hey guys, welcome to another Saturday morning fun time. I am here with my partner in crime, Keith Moncrief, and our guest panelists are going to be Stone Loki. Welcome to Stone.
How's it going, guys? Thank you so very much for the invite. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. And if I can say, it's Batman. Let me in. It's Batman. Can I come in? Can I come in? It's Batman.
Hey, anime guy Brandon, our good friend, just finished his show, and he is here to be on our show.
Yes, thank you for having me once again. And yeah, I have not watched this show in its entirety yet, but yeah, all I'm going to say is sparkly Batman, sparkly.
Now I'm not gonna shit on Pattinson because I thought he did a fine job.
He probably did, but
I never watched him as the sparkly vampire because now I'm making fun of you here. I refuse to turn in my man card. I'm not gonna fucking watch that.
I don't know. I only saw it because of the riff tracks, and that's
so. I know I won't even watch it that way. I absolutely refused to watch any Twilight because I knew what it was, and it was either gay fair or for little girls. Yes. And
that's what happens when you're married. You get sucked into doing things you don't want to do.
See, I'm a dad of a little girl. She watched them, and I told her, "In your fucking room, not out here." She go, "But I want to watch it on the big TV." No, and she will tell you that I said no a lot because like people go, "Oh, you're wrapped around your daughter's fingers." I said, "Baby, what was Dad's favorite thing to say to you?" She'll go. She still says it. She'll go, "No." Sometimes I'd make her go, "I'm sorry, honey. I didn't listen to your full question. Go ahead, finish your question." And then she would finish her question. And then I go, no. And because I'm a dick. But Script Doctor, who is a personal good friend of mine and an amazing guest panelist and host. Welcome to the show, Script.
Thanks for having me. I, too, have never seen Twilight. The most I saw was in a video store, maybe about 45 seconds of the baseball scene. And that's all I've ever seen.
Yeah, you're waiting in line. Yeah, don't worry about it.
That's all. And so when I was able to see this movie and I saw Robert Pattinson, I used all the other appearances I've seen him play as a reference. And I was like, for what he gave, I mean, it's not anyone I'd ever recognize or call Batman or Bruce Wayne, but he was there, and he wasn't playing the same character he's played any other movie.
Well, I'm not going to shit on Pattinson.
I don't have anything bad.
No, he's a good actor. He is. It's just once you've had that brain leech attached to you, it's hard to see anything else other than that.
Shut up, Brandon.
He does look a lot older.
I want to welcome Clobberin Time, who's also a good friend of this channel. Glad you're here, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. Great to see you. I'm honored to be here, my friends.
Yes, and of course, one of our regular panelists on Thank God It's Fridays, Deleted Scenes is here. I'm guessing that his fan is going to.
Yes. Hello, everyone. How are you?
Hey!
And I'm so grateful that for the first time on Pop Culture Minefield, somebody that we follow is Svi. I've never pronounced that last name.
Svi. It's Svi. It's okay. Everybody has a hard time with it. It's quite understandable. My actually English name is Matthew, right? And when you're 8 days old as a young little Jewish baby, they give you the cruelest cut of all, right?
I got that too as a Catholic. So
there you go. There's no escape. There's no escape. What can I tell you? So anyway, that's when you're given your Jewish name, right? And if it was like my English name is Matthew, so my Jewish name should be. Was it Matisyahu, right? So my grandfather goes up to my father and he says, look, can you name after my father, whose name was Svi? And then my dad says, sure, no problem. He's never going to use it anyway.
There you go, Rabbi. I'm glad to have you on, man, because I love your coverage of Doctor Who.
Oh, I do a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yes,
listen,
I know.
Doctor Who is really covered in a lot of stuff right now. All I'm saying is, don't touch it or put it in your mouth. That's probably
That's right. I want to let everybody know on the panel, we have to work at not doing spoilers. If you feel you're going to say something about a spoiler, let me know in advance so I can throw up a spoiler warning, because we have people in the audience that have already let me know that they're going to leave if we do spoilers.
Oh, you got people that are person on the panel. I should be actually. I was going to go to the 8 o'clock. It's 8:15 from now. I was going to go to the 8 o'clock show, right? And I said to myself, really? Listen, here's what. I haven't seen the movie. It looks pretty good. It looks like I won't dislike it. I'm happy to go along with you with a lot of stuff and have a discussion about it. There's a lot that intrigues me about it. But it's like, it seems to me it's a movie that I'm not going to be excited. I'm not going to be happy watching it in 45 days on HBO Max, right? I'm like, I'm just like, I can't be excited. It was like a Ben Affleck, real Batman, very Batman-y Batman movie. You might, with that sort of spectacle, I might be more tempted. But this one, I'm like,
I'm certain a lot of people are going to be turned off today after we're finished talking about the film. I just have that feeling. I know that Matt Decker, a close friend of Keith's and mine, has already said he's going to skip it after what I said on Facebook, which I do want to point out. I got some personal hatred for saying what I said. Should I share what was said to me, guys?
Yeah, it's funny as hell. Yeah.
Here we go. This is what was said, and then my response is also in this. So here you go. This is a very pompous review. It's shit. But since you acknowledge that it's shit, it makes it okay that you like it. Give me a break, LOL. I replied, cunt in public much? I'm talking about a film and you make it personal. You must be like 12 or something. Or is that your IQ? Oh, shit. Are you mentally handicapped? Shit, I'm sorry if you are, stupid cunt. And that got me banned. It got me banned for 24 hours.
Oh, man.
It's worth it to me because I thought he was a dick.
I have to say, that review of your review is kind of like my review of Matrix Resurrections. You know, it's like, listen, they spend the first half hour saying sorry, and this is shit, and they made us do it, right? They spend the first half hour of that movie doing it. I kind of respect them after that. I like that. You know, I like the honesty.
Yeah, I do too. Hey, let's start with let's see Loki is up here on the top right. We'll start with Loki. Go ahead, man. No spoilers, or try not to do spoilers, and warn me if you're going to do a spoiler. But let's go.
Dear Bat Diary, October 31st, 2022. My movie came out, and well, people don't like it. Alfred brought me a turkey sandwich instead of ham. He always brings me a ham sandwich. I'm gonna have to make sure that's really Alfred now. I'm not positive, but I tried the turkey sandwich and it was good. So maybe he really is the really real Alfred. Okay, love you, Bat Diary. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Man, I'm like,
is it really like that?
yes. Okay, if you've ever seen Lego Batman, there's these scenes in Lego Batman where he's monologuing to himself and he's like, I have to make sure the kids at the orphanage,
I
blah, blah, blah. And you hear Pattinson doing this, and I was laughing. I lost my shit. People were looking at me like, what is he find so funny? And I'm like, I'm just laughing.
Okay. I am not shitting you. It's 100% true, right? I was just offline for 25 hours for the Sabbath. I always go offline Friday night for 20. It's like the Jewish thing. They're all Jewish, right? So I catch up on my reading. So I was reading the SFX magazine interview with Matt Reeves about this movie over like about 2 hours ago, and he referenced Lego Batman as being one of his favorites. I'm not joking.
Oh my God. heard it here,
yes.
folks. You heard it here.
The monologue is that bad from Pattinson. There's two scenes at the beginning of the movie, and I won't go into spoilers. I'm not going to spoil anything. There's a scene where Batman comes out of the shadows. Literally, you hear his boots. It's like the shadow, and you can't see anything. You hear clippity, cloppity, clippity, cloppity. And I'm like, clippity, cloppity, clippity, cloppity. Batman's on his way. This is not how a stealthy ninja character goes up to people to confront them. And that's exactly what he does. He goes up to these people, he confronts them, and he's like, I will take you all on one at a time. And you're like, no. And then a couple minutes later, he walks up to a building as Batman, not as Bruce Wayne, and is like, hello, it's me, Batman. Will you let me in?
Hold on. You're getting into spoiler territory. You gotta be careful of that.
Okay. He introduces himself, and it's weird. It's weird. And,
and it's Halloween, so how do you know it's Batman?
Yeah, it's Halloween. October 31st.
I heard that what's the name? Guy plays Penguin is outstanding in this.
Yes, absolutely outstanding. I didn't even realize
the highlight of the film. He really is.
Colin Farrell. I didn't even realize Colin Farrell was playing him.
One pet peeve with him is you've got the fucking Penguin, and it's raining a lot, and his guys carry umbrellas, but not him.
Yeah.
The Penguin without an umbrella.
What the hell?
All right, Brandon, your turn, buddy. Let's go.
Well, Lego Batman is one of my favorites. Now, I know I'm probably in a minority on that, but
no. I think many of us love
it's hilarious.
Movie.
Yeah, it's absolutely hilarious. It takes
parody.
everything.
It's clearly parody.
Exactly. It takes everything Batman, parodies it, has fun with it. I think it's absolutely hilarious, but having that being applied into this with certain things sounds a little weird. And I started watching it, but I have not been able to finish it yet. But I'm going to defer to what you have said about it, Gary, to me, and I will defer to what Loki said about it. He compared, from what I remember, Loki, you told me, or you had either in on your channel, I believe you said it's the new 52.
Yes,
Batman.
Yes, it's very much the new 52 storyline with the Waynes, with Catwoman. Yes, absolutely, and Batman.
Waynes, well, I will point out, and I don't want to give away any plots here. There's a question about who the Waynes are in the film, but I felt satisfied in the end that they straightened it out. I'm not. Don't say what it is.
No. This is just a.
I don't think they did.
This is a point though that doesn't give away any plot points so much as to say you have a room that has been locked off from the rest of this mansion with a chain. So you unchain it, and the room to me looked about like somebody's been cleaning it all these years. How come there is no indication from this revelation that they learned about Martha of no stuff on her nightstand? There is nothing there to indicate that there was anything wrong with her. You're investigating the room. The room's been locked off. If you're having problems, anyone that knows someone that has those kinds of problems know that at least you've got something around that can help them in case they have an episode. There is nothing there.
I see. My I haven't seen it, but my mind wouldn't go there. Like I wouldn't think, oh, did they have whatever an EpiPen or what do you have? Like,
well, it's a scene like that though. A scene like that is really designed specifically for a revelation. Mm-hmm. And this is a complaint I have with the film is that I don't think he's very good at a writer because a lot of the dialogue is what my beef is. I really don't have a problem with plot points, the characters. I don't have a problem with the acting. My problem is the writing. That
too long.
You have two guys in this film that are supposed to be top-notch detectives, and they're not really sharing information with each other when they need to. And worse than that, your audience should not be aware of things way before your characters are when it's revealed to those characters at the same time it's revealed to us. So when you wait 2 fucking hours for one of those reveals to finally be talked about, 2 fucking hours. I already got to piss at this point in the movie. I needed to get up and piss, but I stuck it out for 3 fucking hours.
That's why I'm not
Those hours,
going. That's
it
why
took
I'm
me
not
to get to
going.
that one fucking
it's too
plot
long.
point. I was irritated at some of the fucking writing, but I'm going to tell you, I enjoyed the shit out of this movie.
Oh,
I
cool.
laughed my ass off at the points that were supposed to be funny. I laughed at the points that I don't think they meant to be funny.
Wait, there was some humor. There was some humor in that thing. I must have missed it.
Oh, I got. Look, man, the penguin chase scene is absolutely the best chase scene in a Batman film ever
You like
made.
that?
Wow.
I fucking
thought it was
love
abysmal.
that.
I thought it was abysmal.
What's abysmal about it? You have
Just blurry.
the
bunch
movement of it.
nonsense.
It reminded me of the
blurry.
Quantum of Solace chase at the beginning of the Quantum of Solace. Remember how they cut it too much and you couldn't quite get exactly where that was going? That's how I felt. Like I didn't know where there was going. I didn't know where Penguin was in relation to Batman. It was like a little confusing.
I don't agree with you at all on this because
Okay.
I absolutely knew exactly what was going on, and I would think I'm not the smartest guy in this room. Come on.
I knew what was going on. I just thought it was a lame chase. It was really lame.
I like it
bad
because
eyesight.
it told a visual story. It was telling you the visual story. The Penguin thinks he's getting away, and through Perdition's Gate, from the flames of hell, comes Batman. And I like that. It's a visual story.
Batman Forever did it when Harvey Two-Face shot a thing at the gas mine and Batman came out.
Never.
Yeah, but who's going to watch
Never bring that
Batman
movie
Forever?
up. Script.
Really?
Come on,
I mean,
Batman Forever is a far smarter film than we give it credit for.
Let's give Script. It's Script's turn. Let's go, Script.
Well, yeah, I said this on Midnight's Edge. I think this is probably one of the worst written Batman films.
I agree.
Not necessarily with plot, just with like dialogue.
No dialogue. It's all
and
really on the
how
dialogue.
they go about doing things on this. I mean, the other part too is like even the end game that the Riddler has, it's incomplete. It's an incomplete end game. He has nothing. There's no advantage to it. So it's a meandering type of plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It drags way too long. The first hour could have been told in 35-40 minutes. The second 2 hours could have been done in about 45 minutes. Has too many epilogues that they try to call endings.
I'm so glad I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll only see this one more time on digital with subtitles, just so I can catch any of the dialogue that I may have missed. And that's about it. There's just nothing to this film. I mean, Colin Farrell, absolutely fantastic. Jeffrey Wright, holy crap, loved what he was doing there.
Yes.
Even the actor that was playing the DA that we saw in that advertised scene that they did a few months back of the funeral thing, that guy was way more interesting to watch than Batman opposite him. And even though you got Pattinson in the costume 90% of the time compared to all other actors, it seems kind of like a no-brainer decision because Matt Reeves is probably thinking, I really don't want all the naysayers of Pattinson to keep looking at that face of his and thinking Twilight, so let's just keep him in the cowl as long as possible, which it's fine. But the riddles are very pedestrian, like ridiculously pedestrian.
Yeah, the Riddler's not in this movie.
Yeah, like the one of the things. I mean, someone on Twitter asked the other day, is like, can you really have the Riddler in a Batman film? Because all you need is a Google search. And I would say to that, no, because if you're a writer writing a Batman film, your goal is to come up with brand new riddles that you
exactly
cannot
riddles
search.
Never given before. He has to create his own riddles,
and these riddles are not something that he came up with. These are old classic riddles from like the circus days. But yeah, it was there's no chemistry between Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz that I could register. Zoe's tiny in comparison. I mean, she worked out because you got that one shot where you see her shoulders and triceps. And you're like, okay, that's not bad. But, they're like 6 inches round. So, I mean, you can't really do much with that. And yeah, like, again, it's another interpretation of Selena Kyle where we get Selena Kyle, but she's not really Catwoman. She doesn't say that name's not used. She doesn't really say it.
No.
And yeah, that's as far as I'm going to go to before we get to spoilers.
Wow.
Yeah. And the question comments, the mystery aspect of the movie was disappointing. Absolutely agree with you in your comment here. I was so annoyed with, the mystery aspect. Another thing that annoyed me was he's already talked about this publicly. It's not a spoiler, that he borrows heavily from Zodiac and Seven. And
Yeah,
he
which you
borrows
should've got
so
back
heavily
further.
from it that it felt like it was a remake of those two films, and Batman just sort of tossed in as an afterthought.
It is, and he should have gone back further.
A lot of people have said that.
He should have gone back further, not to Zodiac and Seven, but to what are noir, pulpy style stories.
Neo-noir is really a good form, and it's only called neo-noir because noir really existed in the 30s, 40s. Anything after that becomes neo-noir. And even if it follows the same, beats, it's still considered neo-noir because it's not the 30s and 40s anymore.
Unless it's a dated film that takes place in the 30s and 40s.
That takes place in the 30s and 40s, but the problem is Perry Mason, the series, is neo-noir. It takes place in the 30s during the Depression. And it's still neo-noir because of the way it's written. And
so it's more contemporary take on noir. Okay.
On the
so Loki
noir.
is right to one degree. It does have a lot of New 52-isms, but it has
really
way
does.
more Jeff Johns, Batman, Earth One.
And
it has a lot.
I'm sorry, Keith. What does Gary think of Jeff Johns?
He's a cunt.
Yeah,
Bravo!
I call him a fucking idiot all the time. I walked out of Wonder Woman's 84. I walked out of there, and the first thing I said, without knowing who wrote it, I said it had the stink of Jeff Johns on it.
It's
It's
really
Dave Callahan
bad.
basically doing Jeff Johns as
really
a
bad.
What's
Well,
that?
I have to tell you, I really wish there was a real comic book accurate Batman live action, like a Ben Affleck.
Well,
Batman.
Ben Affleck is the closest we've ever gotten.
I would wouldn't you like to see that? I mean,
of course.
I would go to the cinema to see that. This seems fine. I don't want to shit on it because I haven't seen it. But it's like it seems fine. But it's not motivating me to get out of my house at all.
BVS is trash. So.
BVS is trash. It's got a good Batman costume-ish, and Ben Affleck does okay as pretending to be drunk Bruce Wayne. But that's not enough to really say this is an authentic Batman film. And then the other part,
but the Snyder cut I thought was very good. I really enjoyed
Batman.
that.
That's okay.
Garbage.
You can like it,
See,
but you don't know Batman if you like it.
I haven't.
Well, I want to go back
haven't
to
seen
script.
Snyder Cut yet.
I
Lucky
want to
you.
go back to script. You were about to say something before.
Yeah, it's got
Steve.
Jeff Loeb and Frank Millerisms throughout it. And Jeff Loeb is the type of guy who he comes up with an idea and then he doesn't know what the ending's going to be, and he screws that up. And then Frank Miller is so hooked up on military and Catholicism, which are two aspects that are very not Batman, and he injects them into
It works with Daredevil because Daredevil's
doesn't it? Yeah.
It's not just that they've been mining Miller's Batman Year One.
Yes.
Yeah, and
30 years.
Year One and
it's
The
your
Dark
turn.
Knight Returns for 42 years.
Yes, they have.
Clobberin, it's your turn. Come on, buddy.
Oh well, I actually enjoyed parts of this thing, more of it than I thought I would. I really thought I was going to hate the film. I don't hate it. There are things in there I liked and added more of an attitudinal. In other words, I love the approach of having a story that is mostly Batman and very little Bruce Wayne, which I like that aspect of it. When he's Batman, I think he does a good job in his performance, which I did not think I would. So I give him a lot of credit for that, meaning Pattinson. The attitude of the film from that standpoint, I don't mind. A lot of things that I thought were okay and things that enraged me that I yelled out last night and said very nasty things about them.
Did you wake up in the middle of the night going, Pattinson?
No. On the show last night, I said things I don't usually say on my show. I was pretty pissed off. Too much Screw 52 trash. Without being spoiler, I'll simply say, please, for the love of God, leave the Waynes alone. The Waynes have one function in Batman's origin. That is to die in Crime Alley. That's it. I'm not spoiling. I just hate.
Okay.
That Clobby said that. What Clobby said last night was stop taking the Waynes and stop taking the Kents and doing anything with them besides building our heroes. These people were there to build our heroes. The Waynes, their death builds Batman. It makes him Batman. The Kents raise Clark to be Superman, to be human, and to use his powers for good, not evil. That is the only, when he said that last night, Clobby, I was jumping up and down on my couch saying, yes, yes, because that is their job, and that should be the only job they have. Stop tainting them and turning them into something else.
That took
I will
me out
tell
of the
you,
movie.
though, that without giving up a spoiler, there is absolutely a clear redemption of the Waynes. I'm not going to say what it is.
I don't think there is. I think it did not.
I think it's very clear.
It fell well short. It was not good. Not it was wrong.
I don't agree with you on that, Clobby. And we can talk about that after the show because I don't want to spoil it for everybody.
It did not. But I hear you. But I'll tell you this: that took me out of a movie that I was willing to forgive a lot of its sins, because I'm often like, if a movie has more positives than cons, I'll be nice. And the second, third act of the film really took me out of it. And by hour 5, I'm sorry, no, it was 3 hours. I was not very well disposed toward the film. That I was first half of it fairly surprised that I was okay with, except biggest problem is the Riddler. That's no Riddler. But anyway. Or one of the biggest problems.
Flaccid wants to join us, so I got to go invite him real quick. Let's see. Invite, copy to clipboard. Orv, thank you very much. Come again.
And yes,
I grew up with two of my best friends were Indian, and it's so weird. They were a year apart in age, and the younger one had no accent, and the other one had just the thickest Indian accent. But I would call because they owned the Twilight Motel in Fredericksburg, Virginia, where I grew up. And I would call and hang up just to hear the dad go, thank you for calling Twilight Motel. May I help you? And I would hang up and then call back. I would do it 2 or 3 times. And then finally VJ goes, look, my dad would not yell at you, but he really wants you to stop calling so much. He knows why you're doing it because it sounds like toilet when he says the hotel name. It sounds like you said, Toilet Motel, may I help you? I'm covering for good.
It does sound like it's like a hooker hotel, right? Twilight Hotel, like rooms by the hour.
Oh Lord,
it's funny. Okay, Phoenix, I'm sending you an invite right now, buddy. There you go. And so Flaccid will be joining us. And I like Flaccid's logo. It's a Flaccid Phoenix with a little drip on the end. It's gross. But I'm glad you joined it, Svi. It's really nice to finally have you on here. And I do follow you. Well, primarily I follow you because of all the Doctor Who stuff that you do. And I really do. You and
so do I.
Babyface, what's his name?
Hills.
Yeah, I follow him too. Because I know that when I watch your show, you're going to be tried and true Doctor Whovians, you know.
Listen, we don't pull our punches. We do obscenely love Doctor Who. Speaking of obscenely, I do like Flaccid Phoenix's
logo, isn't it great?
I will never forget it. I feel dirty. And I'm enjoying it all at the same time.
I want to say that, Rabbi, I really enjoy your channel as well, buddy.
Thank you. I like being enjoyed. Please, if you never checked out my channel, come over and sub, and then sign up to my paid Substack, and just give me money in every way, shape, or form. I'm thinking of doing anything.
Really, before we move on, I really haven't said hi to everybody in the chat, so I'm going to do that real quick. It's slow going today, and I we'll end up with 200 or 300 watches by the end of the weekend. But I don't know what's going on. It's usually got a few more people, about 100 people today. But oh well, fuck it. They're probably mad. They think we're doing spoilers. So, and I do know because before you came on, see, I'm banned from Facebook for 24 hours for calling a guy who didn't like my review. And I thoroughly enjoyed saying that to him. And so I take that 24-hour ban as a badge of courage because I will fucking go after somebody. I'm not fucking afraid to say shit to people. I'm mean.
Yeah, listen, I have to tell you, I think social media's days are I think things are about to come tumbling down.
Well, it's gone through 2 transitions since really it started. MySpace is really the beginning of it. Facebook was a college app, and now it's moved on to what it is
pure
now.
evil that controls the world.
Well, it's a media mogul. Yeah. It's really what it is. It controls media, whether it's social or not. And it's incorrect. You shouldn't do that. But I want to say hello to all our peeps in the chat. Rajneesh Sharma, and I apologize if my accent was not to your approval. Rajneesh, Das Wolfen, who's a close friend of Keith's and mine. Deleted scenes. Fuck you, deleted. You're here.
Yes, and
Lord
fuck you
Thoth.
too.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. Lord Thoth. And by the way, see, if I say fuck you or fuck off, that means I like you.
That's I feel special and tingly.
There you go. Fuck off. And Lord Thoth, thank you for joining us, my friend. I wish he was on the panel today because I love that guy. Baron Ormentag, which is I'm assuming he's using the Dutch version of Tog.
LT hasn't seen the movie yet, by the way. It's going Monday, so that's why he couldn't be on.
And Magic Tech Mags is a Virginian like myself. She's from Virginia. I'm curious what part of Virginia. I'm from Fredericksburg. Grew up there. Love that place.
Mags is so awesome. She's got a channel coming up. She's gonna have a channel.
Oh, then you need to make sure. Did I make her? I need to make sure I made her. Clobberin's not even a mod. Oh, I need to change that. Clobberin, you need to be a mod. Let me go back.
I'm willing.
Mags, when your channel starts up, please feel free to get in contact and come on my channel, and we'll talk about stuff. I have no idea who you are, what you think about anything. But yeah, that sounds fun.
If she likes us, she gets it.
Call it The Virginian. That was a good show.
I actually loved that show growing up.
Yeah, great show.
I still watch it every once in a while on the Western channel. They'll have Western TV shows.
Yes. Big Doug McClure fan, are you?
Dude, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, Lee Majors and Doug McClure were the shit to me as a kid.
Oh man.
Lee Majors is awesome.
Lee was only in the last season of that, but yeah, he was cool.
Well, he was on the Big Valley.
Yeah, but he was also in the last season of Virginia when it was the Man from Shiloh. The Man from Shiloh.
I don't remember that.
The last season.
Okay. If you want television nostalgia, you have to watch Pam and Tommy. Okay, it's the greatest event I've ever seen. I thought it'd be a goof, right? I put it on. I thought I'll go 10 minutes. I am so into this show. Like it's freaking awesome. Okay, I can't wait to catch up so I can do a review. It's absolutely fantastic. Firstly, Sebastian Stan is awesome as Tommy Lee, and what's the name? Lily James, who was when they got rid of one hot chick from Downton Abbey and they replaced her with a blonde hot chick. And then she married the Jew. I was like, oh man, this is it. This is my ultimate masturbatory fantasy. So anyway, she's very attractive, right? But she doesn't look like Pamela Anderson. I don't know what they do. This is the most insane prosthetics ever, but this looks like Pamela Anderson. It is the most insane acting I've ever seen. It's kind of like, if you saw The Crown, you had Gillian Anderson play Margaret Thatcher. Now, Margaret Thatcher is the most anti-sexual person ever. She's the most sexist.
Oh my God, yes.
Well, there's a reason why she was called the Iron Lady.
Yeah, that Margaret Thatcher. But Gillian Anderson, for somehow, she looked and sounded exactly like Margaret Thatcher, but I wanted to bang her. So I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
So I just knew it was Julian, that's why.
Isn't it interesting how our minds can do that type of thing?
I have to go watch The Crown. I'll be right back.
Anyway, Lily James is so freaking awesome in this. I mean, again, she's very attractive, but she doesn't look like Pamela Anderson. I don't know what to tell you. And it's like they first show how completely insane their lives are, how completely insane they both are, and of course
they're both crazy
this way. Right, but then they do such a good job representing them. You understand them as people, right? And you get to see this personal tragedy explode, and it's an insane one. It explode in real time. So it's a strong recommend for me.
I was say, yeah, Sebastian Stan looked perfect as Tommy Lee. He looks like how I remember him looking, or fairly close to it. And they both seem to have the acting ability. And it's got one person that I can't stand, whose brain has been addled by his drug use over the years.
Exactly. I nearly turned it off when I saw him. Right? I was like,
but it's got Nick Offerman in it, and he is damn good. Anything that man has done,
right?
He doesn't phone it in. He devotes himself to it. He is great in his acting abilities.
Absolutely, I agree completely. Because I wanted to turn it off when I saw he's in it. I'm like, oh, forget it. I don't want to. And then it's just so good, right? The story is so good. You're so sucked into that story.
It's amazing how the internet changed things.
Yeah, I know. It just some of it was really for the good and some of it for the worst. Magitech, you, Clobberin, Loki are now all mods in the channel. I want to make sure you can always promote yourselves. That's important.
Sorry, that's my fault.
And comment in the chat, Svi, and that way I can make you a mod too.
Oh, one second.
I want you to be able to promote your channel. I just invited Nick onto the show if he wants to join us. Nick, check your DMs on Twitter. And I still haven't finished welcoming everybody. Of course, I ended with Magitech. I want to get to Pat S., who's a producer on our show, a very good friend of mine, a lover of military history like myself. He's in the chat modding. And, of course, Nick Weiser is here. What is up, Nick?
Nick.
And
Nicholas. What's up, buddy?
Let's see who else joined us. I'm making sure I don't miss anybody because we love our channel, man. All of our chat people. Brett Cohen from Australia's here. Brett Cohen. That's Australian for fucking awesome, mate. There's Brett. Yeah, that's right. Brett Cohen is not Australian, but Australian for awesome. Or do they have awesome in Australia? I don't know. You guys' world is
okay. We have to ask though, what's better, Marmite or Vegemite? Right? Only an Australian is going to be able to answer that question.
That is interesting because I've had both, and I think they're both gross.
See, I find Vegemite too weak for me.
And Vegemite is what's best known down in Australia. My problem was the smell.
Yeah,
I couldn't get past the smell. And I remember I was in an office and one of the girls said, "If you open that, I swear to God, I will fucking punch you." And I did like this one. And I opened and went, "Oh, now I know why."
Okay, so this is a weird cultural thing in Israel, which is where I live. If one, you have to ask permission from everybody in an office before you peel an orange.
Are you serious? Really?
Yeah. It's a real my wife just started working a new place a few months ago, right? And somebody else was like, an orange.
They wouldn't say anything, right?
I know. And she was like, "Why are you even asking me?" And I'm sure I have an orange. And then all my kids were like, "No, of course you have to ask. It's an office." That's crazy.
I haven't worked in an office for almost 2 years. I don't think I can do it again.
Fish, the Jewish treat, the little fish.
What's that one? The galga fish?
Is it galga fish? Galga fish? I've never
Gefalka?
seen Gefalka?
Oh no, gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish.
The version of gefilte fish you're talking about is disgusting beyond disgusting. Okay,
yeah. You
can get good gefilte fish, but that is the stuff in the jar and jelly. Okay, honestly, I would. It's either that. If I don't eat that, I'm going to be eaten by zombies. That's the sort of incentive I need to eat that. It sounds awful. It does. It's
Brett Cohen put a $2 Australian $2 super chat. He says,
Vegemite, mate.
Vegemite.
Vegemite. Oh, Vegemite. Well, listen, mate. I can't argue with you. Can't argue.
But thank you for the $2 super chat. For that one, I'm going to play my little Beetlejuice that I redubbed for you.
Whoa. SJWs.
You hate him, right? I hate him myself.
There you go.
That's Kiva.
And for anybody who is really angry with us over talking about Batman and maybe not liking it so much,
Well, whatever helps you sleep at night, bitch.
there you go.
Keith, you're muted.
Yeah, come on.
That's better.
I can't take you anywhere.
Could I interject and ask a Batman-y question? Going around the panel, I don't want to take over, but I think just like, says something about every person in general. What's everyone's favorite Batman movie? Because I'm sure that I think
that's interesting. That's a good question.
Not really.
Keith, we'll start. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say mine. Even though I am a big fan of the 1989 film, I had problems with Tim Burton's depiction of Batman. I also hated the stupid fucking animation at the beginning of its turning in the cape thing. It looked really bad. But I really do. Michael Keaton is a very good Batman. I think he made a very good Batman. And then, of course, I am a huge fan of what Christopher Nolan did. Even though it's not truly a comic book Batman, the first film, Batman Begins, really took enough from the comics that I was very satisfied with that film. And who doesn't love Dark Knight? I mean, come on. That's a great fucking Batman film.
I don't love it.
Well,
Me either.
you're Canadian.
Well, there you go. What can I tell you? That explains everything.
No, script usually is, we don't always agree on everything, but we see pretty eye to eye on screenwriting and the problems with modern screenwriting. So I get it if you don't. And we'll get to you in a second because I do want to hear what you didn't like about it. Keith, your favorite Batman? Are you unmuted yet?
Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yes.
Greatest one of all.
And if I had to pick a live action, it's Affleck, and I'll tell you why. You have to be a bit of a bruiser and a badass to want to be able to fight and not have padding and other things cover up, to protect yourself. Batman is someone, in my opinion, that is he's ready to throw down at any time. And I consider what has been done with the Affleck Batman is more or less a combination of all the different versions of Batman, minus the goofy version of the 1950s, which is what the television show is based on.
The 66 series.
Yeah, the 66 series is actually the 1950s just dressed up in 10 years later. That's all it is. And that is the version that the movie Batman and Robin is actually based on.
Yep.
So for me, that's it. And that isn't to say that all the other people that have played Batman, including Pattinson, are awful. I've seen awful. Those guys aren't quite awful. I just like them in various degrees. So
I
it's
get that.
Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. Because
I need to move to the chats.
Go ahead.
We got Baron Ormond Tog, who gave us $2. Keep up popping. Batman 89 from me. 89 it's a solid film, and Keaton, it's hard to beat Keaton as Batman. He really was good. And all of us, I remember all of us before the internet was hating on that. It's like, he's a Beetlejuice, and
Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom's going to be Batman.
Even I was in that crowd going, I'm not sure about this. And then I saw him and I'm like, yeah, he's good. He's good as Batman. But again, for your $2, I want to thank you. And for that one, you will get this, Monty.
Stop that! It's silly. Very silly indeed.
There you go. Thank you. And yeah, see, there's a lot of Monty Python on our channel.
Oh, there you go. I was going to say, I prefer the second Keaton Batman movie to the first one because you dealt with all the setup and all the angst, and then you just got into what you wanted, which was, it was weird. The whole thing was weird. Christopher Walken. It was just weird, but I kind of like it.
Well, I got to tell you,
Brandon, past it. That's one of the good ones to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Brandon, you're on the fucking show. You're going to get your chance to say you didn't have to pay me $2.
It's what I do.
Oh my god!
So shut up and take my money.
Oh my god.
Shut up and take my money. And for that one, you get this non sequitur.
And here is the neighbor who told us where they were.
I love non sequitur humor. It's fucking brilliant. Thanks, Brandon. You fucking
You betcha.
asshole. But we'll get to you in a second. And you get to talk about it. Loki.
Mask of the Phantasm, right off the bat, that all-time favorite Batman movie. He doesn't just have to be the animated.
And I agree wholeheartedly. God damn it.
The relationship he has in that movie is perfect. The moment where he's talking to his parents at the grave, where he's like, "I'm sorry, you know it's different now. I've fallen in love. Do I have to keep doing?" I love all of it. All of it. I love the bit with the Joker. And speaking of the Joker, my second favorite scene in all of Batman is the Michael Keaton scene when he grabs the hot poker out of the fireplace and he's like, "You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts." Because
dance with the devil when
yes,
the moonlight.
that is so Keaton. If you watch Keaton in other movies, that is so Keaton.
All my victims.
And I loved that. I loved that they let him be him, even if some of that was just, whether it was improv, whether they wrote it, that was all Keaton.
It's in the book. It's in the book. So that means it was written in the first draft of the script.
And I mean, I'm just like, you know what? Nobody had faith in him back then. No, I'm not going to say nobody, but a lot of people didn't have faith in him back then. A lot of people, like you said, Mr. Mob, Beetlejuice. I said, this guy's nuts. It's going to be perfect. This guy acts like a loon.
I saw him in a film that showed me the dark side of him called Clean and Sober.
That's what I saw.
Yes.
That's the movie.
Yeah. And even though I had my doubts, I had seen him act. And I'm like, yeah, he can pull this off. He can do it. There's a scary side to Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I read about that movie, and that's one of the things that won him the role. So when I saw that film, whatever questions I had, because I was just like, look, I don't see him being Batman. I don't understand it. I didn't hate it. I just didn't get it. And then I saw Clean and Sober, and it's like, oh my God.
There you go,
He can be
man.
Batman.
Exactly. And I want to thank, of course, Pacific 414 is here. Glad to see you in the chat. And our good friend, Soul Assassin, is here. What's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. Now, it goes on to Brandon's turn. I'm sorry, you've lost the turn because you paid me $2 to tell me already. Happy fucking birthday, bitch. No, go ahead, Brandon. Talk about the film. What was it you liked so much about it over the other films?
Well, when it goes to Batman in general, I am not a comic book person, so I know dick about how he is in that. But I grew up with the animated series. I know that show pretty well. I absolutely adore it. One of my favorite episode from that is Heart of Ice. That is the best from that series. So Mask of the Phantasm, I saw it in the theater when it came out, and it's a natural extension of that. And it's, yeah, for all the points that have been brought up, it is exactly what I expect out of it. And as far as stuff that I've seen as an adult, I have seen, and I do like Under the Red Hood and The Dark Knight Returns. I did enjoy the crap out of those two.
That's a hard club to be in, Brandon.
Yeah,
to
really
be
is.
someone who saw that in the theater, because I know I did, but I didn't know it was only in theaters for like a week or two, and that was it.
I only got to see it twice.
Seeing that opening of Gotham in 3D,
we saw it on Saturday afternoon. Yeah.
That's just magic. It is. It's Batman magic, that opening scene of Gotham in 3D in the theater.
If they had waited a year, they could have done a lot more of that in 3D. Oh,
agreed. We've got another super chat from Magitech Mags. Thank you for your $5 super chat. Look, you are not the only one. Adam, I'll tell you right now, because Graham Nolan is a good friend of mine, and Graham's been on the show a few times, and Graham and I are absolutely, and Keith too, is an Adam West fan. Even though we understand it's tongue-in-cheek comedy.
Oh, I love it.
It's parody, but Adam West was our first Batman and will always be our first Batman. And I always thought it was stupid for him to rail against the 1989 film because it's a serious take on Batman.
Especially the way he did it.
Yeah. I mean, he was a serious actor playing silly scripts like Airplane, where everybody delivers their line deadpan. You know, so that was really, a lot of people don't know that Batman was our first adventure into deadpan comedy. And delivering lines like my favorite was in the movie where he calls the admiral of the Navy, you know, and he's and the admiral's like, I'm sorry, Batman, have we done something wrong? And he's like, really, Admiral, selling a post or pre-nuclear submarine to a person with only a post office box. Good day, Admiral.
Return address.
You know, it's just I fucking love that scene. It sticks in my head for years because I'm like, that's brilliant comedy right there. But as a kid, that was P.E. Gwynn. I love it. He says he puts his hand over the phone. Mr. P.E. Gwynn. Robert goes, Penguin. That's not fucking hilarious.
I mean, that's really what the Lego Batman's doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So for you, Magitech, I'm going to give you a special one. This is one of my favorite John Cleese moments. That's not Monty Python, and he's not delivering the line.
You pompous, stuck-up, snot-nosed, English, giant, twerp, scumbag, fuckface, dickhead, asshole.
And the follow-up.
How very interesting. You're a true Vulgarian, aren't you?
You are
Absolutely one of the greatest films ever made.
Yes.
But thank you so much for your $5 gift. And I hope you're enjoying the show today. I hope everybody is. Because now we're getting into the heart of Batman, and not just this current iteration. So Clobberin Time. Oh, wait, no. Script Doctor, your turn. And you're going to explain to me your issues with Chris Nolan's.
Oh, okay. Well, let's start with Mask of the Phantasm because it's the best written in adaptation. Shirley Walker's score is beautiful. The invention of Andrea Beaumont and the love story between him and Bruce, and how that was like the one saving grace from him going down this path and finding a balance to things of that nature. The red herring of the mystery of who the Phantasm is was beautifully done. Stacy Keach, great performance.
Yep.
My favorite live action performance of Batman is Adam West because he's plays it straight. He's also encapsulates all the virtues of what Batman is, regardless of the lack of dark and stealthy nature. He was the first Batman I saw. And for the live action films, his 1966 Batman movie is the best written because it's the only Batman movie that balances out the four super criminals plus the sidekick of Robin excellently in a 90-minute runtime by Lorenzo Semple Jr. It's regardless of some of the silly aspects to it, everybody gets their moment to shine in that movie. It's well balanced, well paced. Like there hasn't been a better Batman movie written that can juggle that many characters before.
Indeed.
Just has not existed yet, and it should have because it's basic writing parameters. With regards to Christopher Nolan, the guy doesn't do any research. Like he touts that he's trying to be authentic and everything, but he does none. You cannot get a fingerprint off a fired bullet in a wall. That comes off the shell casing. So that entire bit in The Dark Knight is stupid. There's so much telling of the Joker having quote unquote done things, but it's all by the heroes that are saying the Joker's doing it, but there's nothing to indicate that the Joker is doing it.
He's actually
and on
doing
top
it,
of that, you introduce a character like the Joker who does like two things, which is slams the guy's head into a pencil and then lights a pile of cash on fire that has the accountant burning at the top. But he does nothing that actually separates himself further from your typical mob boss. And that's the thing. The Joker is beyond petty organized crime. He's a fantastical criminal element. Then you have the whole chase scene with the Batmobile and the slaughter truck, and the whole geography is wrong. Like how does Batman miss a truck and then it comes in on the right and then it knocks the truck off onto the left? Like the editing is terrible in that film, but the thing is it's well lauded because Heath Ledger really does steal the scene as this militarized
It's the performances
Joker.
in the film, really.
It's the performances over the plot and the writing, and that's Christopher Nolan's biggest thing is that because he cares so much on the cool factor and the concepts, he doesn't execute them well. I mean, even Joker's monologue that he does to Harvey Dent, Heath Ledger screws up a line. And because the poor guy passed away, he never got to reshoot it because the entire argument he makes does not make any sense if you actually write out what he's saying. because the
There's
common aspect is the Joker's saying, I'm the Joker, and I'm going to do two things. I'm going to tell you gangbangers are going to die, and I'm going to tell you the mayor's going to die, yet you're not going to react to the gangbangers, you're going to react to the mayors, and doesn't explain why, where in the script he explains why. Because people expect gangbangers to die because they're in a dangerous situation. Nobody expects a mayor to die because they're supposed to be considered safe. And when you miss that, you miss the argument, and you're talking about a guy who's discussing this concept to a freaking lawyer whose entire job is making better arguments. And if you can't make a better argument to a lawyer, regardless of him suffering, you're kind of missing the aspect of what the relationship is between these characters. And that is why The Dark Knight has a bunch of issues, and I'm only scraping the surface. However, I mean, it's a lauded film, and again, Heath Ledger steals it. Gary Oldman is fantastic. Aaron Eckhart is great in it. Christian Bale playing James Bond, pretending to be Batman, which is another aspect to Nolan films I don't like. Nolan was not interested in making Batman movies. He wanted to make James Bond, but all he could get was Batman. So he was like, here's the Batman veneer over a James Bond story. We got Morgan Freeman as Q.
He wanted Bond, but he got Indiana Jones. You know, American directors can't direct Bond. Although Christopher Nolan's English, I wonder why he didn't get it.
I think his approach is not what the Broccoli's want.
Wait. Christopher Nolan's not English. He's Australian, isn't he?
No, he's his parents. One parent is American, one parent is British, and
that's why if you listen to his brother Jonathan speak, he doesn't have an English accent. He's American, so it's weird.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, he's from London, as I recall, London proper.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now we get to Clobberin Time. But before you start, I want to welcome the lovely Sherry.
Lovely Sherry. Hey, Sherry.
We love Sherry. She is the bane of my existence in private chat. She knows why. She knows why.
Sherry.
What did you do, Sherry?
Come on.
She really looks like the sweetest girl. She reminds me of my daughter facially. And she says these things in private chat that I'm like,
oh yeah, she's
and
got
I'm like,
that,
look away,
side to
look
her.
away, don't look at that, don't look at that.
Oh,
the memes that she puts out through through various places is she's good.
Dude.
The bad Sherry.
She is bad, lovely Sherry. And look at her. She put the angel halo, whatever.
There's no such thing as angels.
No, not on Twitter. I'll tell you that. But you know, I tell people all the time, you know, of the group of us, I think that I'm probably next to the biggest dick as far as personalities go. I think Flaccid's pretty fucking close.
I'm
he might actually beat me a few times. I've heard him say some things. I'm like, oh, he went where I wouldn't go. But let's get down to the nitty gritty, Clobberin. What's your favorite Batman?
It's been mentioned many times here already. Batman: Mask of the Phantasm, and it's not even close. If you're talking about something that played on a theatrical screen, of course, if that's
for live action, right?
Yes. But for live action, Batman 66. For again, script just handled it
all.
The
movie in 66.
Script handled everything I like to say about Batman 66 and Dark Knight. Look, Christopher Nolan crap is Batman for dummies for me. I've always called it that. I'm so old. Batman was the first word I could speak because of Adam West. It was on the air at the time. That's how old I am. And it was just Batman. Adam West's Batman was a pure adaptation of what Batman comics were like at the time in the innocent 50s and 60s, early on. And he's, of course, a really great, awesome dude to meet, too. Some of the times I met him, it was just incredible. Great guy. But the Nolan stuff, almost all live action Batman are Batman for dummies or Batman for normies, if it makes you happy to say it, but in a nicer way. And I don't get thrilled about any of them, to be perfectly honest. In '89, we were really skeptical about Michael Keaton coming in there, being cast, as you all have covered here. I was running I had my comic shop. I owned my comic shop at the time, and I was doing we were all just kind of scratching our heads when he was cast. And then when it got closer to the time for the film to come out, we were like seeing more info on it, seeing a little bit more pictures, finally seeing a little trailer. We were like, maybe, but still the casting's weird. Turns out Tim Burton's not much different from Christopher Nolan. He doesn't care about Batman. All he cared about was the villains because he's a weirdo. And he proved it. I like those movies fine, don't get me wrong, but it's still not Batman enough. And there's never going to be in any live action film is ever going to suit me as a Batman purist who went through the 3 phases of Batman, which are this. You're a child, you see Adam West, and that's gospel. It's totally serious. It's not funny. That's not a comedy. It's real.
When you're a kid, that's right.
Then you see O'Neill and Adams Batman, where they bring him back closer to his 40s origins, where he's the Dark Knight detective, which is what he is supposed to be. Bill Finger and Jerry Robinson. I'm not saying Bob King, but anyway. So
and
this is that. Well, I was going to say, when you read those and you go, wait a minute, I love that. That Batman show lied to me. That was making fun of Batman. I hate it. And then you grow up, you get into your late teens, you see it again, you go, I see what they were doing. It was funny, and that's the 3 stages of Batman I went through. Because for a while there, it was like they were making fun of Batman. They're like, you know what? In life, you can make fun of things, and it can still be wonderful. And you should have a sense of humor about anything, even Batman, Bat Bros out there. And
they're making more fun of the police and institutions than they are of Batman. That's what I love.
Right, but as a kid, but when you get to a certain age and you think Batman's supposed to be deadly serious, you don't like them making fun of Batman for a while there. At least some of us didn't. And then you realize how funny and great the show was and how hilarious it was. And you realize there's room for silly Batman. I mean, Batman Brave and the Bold cartoon is one of the most wonderful things in the world. I mean, that's my happy place. I love that show.
Amen.
And yet I love, but the animated series is the way Batman is defined. And if you want to see Batman moving on the screen, whether small or large, that defines Batman no better place than Batman the Animated Series. So all live action movies to me, when it comes to Batman, me as a Batman fanatic for almost 57 years, or second string compared to Batman in comics and animation. So I never get that excited about a live action Batman movie. I can't really name you one that I really love. I like Batman Begins okay, but again, it's minimalist Batman. I like Dark Knight okay, but all the reasons that Script just mentioned, I have the same exact problems with it. Christopher Nolan didn't give a crap about Batman. He even said so. He didn't care. He didn't do research. It's just like, it's a movie with a guy with a Batman costume in it, and it's fine. It's an okay adventure. I hate his Joker. He can't even commit to the Joker. He's got to be look like a dude with his face slammed down into a Mary Kay cabinet. It's not the way I want the Joker to look. They never do anything right with these live action movies for me, but I'm a comics guy through and through. So.
Okay, Francis.
1 second. Doesn't Heath Ledger's Joker in the nurse's outfit remind you of Sandra Bernhardt on a bad day?
Yeah.
It does now. It does now,
But,
thanks to you.
But I wanted to end Clobberin's rant with the line, okay, Francis, from a great
Lighten up, Francis. Yeah.
Lighten up, Francis.
I'm Batman Psycho.
Yep, exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and show this real quick as a nod to all of us that are fans of the 66 film. Here you go.
I love it.
Put us to the side. I'm going to put us to the side. There we go. Just few seconds. I just love this scene.
Holy sardine!
I got to pause it for a second so we don't get fucking claimed. Dee, 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 dee. Look at his cape. Oh my God, this scene is so crazy. This was very stressful as a child watching this on the big screen, and I watched
That
it.
shark
in
is
theater.
taking a walloping too. Like it's a shark.
Hand me down!
The shark repellent bat spray.
The shark repellent bat spray.
Pause
That
on the
was-
other bat sprays. They're brilliant.
Right? I mean, like, he's got a can on it with shark repellent bat spray written on the can. And he didn't think, oh, there's a shark attacking. I know that shark repellent bat spray. I don't think it'll be useful in this case.
That he fucking even has it as a
It's
thing.
not just that. He has Barracuda repellent bat spray.
Yes,
he has manta
exactly.
ray repellent bat spray.
Yep.
And he has, I think, he has one more.
Clearly, Batman was a Boy Scout.
You got to be
prepared.
Very prepared for everything.
and he was such a cool guy. You know, I'm so old. I met them in costume when they were still going around doing costume appearances. And I got Adam West to say on recording. I wish I could find the recording. I asked him to say his favorite line from the movie. I gave him a little coaching because he almost forgot. And then he said it. some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Yeah.
He gave that laugh. He gave that laugh. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, I get that. It sucks when you don't have something that you had a recording of, because I had the same thing. Because I've had phone calls from Bruce Campbell, but my favorite all-time phone call from somebody was James Hong from Blade Runner and other classic films. And because I'm the founder of the Blade Runner fan club, I knew all these people. And so I had this phone call. I came home from work one day and I see there's a message waiting for me. I go to play and it goes just like this. Hello, Gowdy. This is James Hong. I only do eyes. Call me.
Awesome. Oh.
And I'm so pissed that in my divorce that got lost. And I'm like, it was like one of my favorite recordings ever. And just bizarre fucking shit like that. I get it, Club. I get it. All right, we are down now to deleted scene. What is your favorite Batman, live action or animated? Doesn't matter as long as it was a movie.
On a screen.
Well, my entry into Batman, of course, was Adam West. So I definitely have to thank him for that, launching me down this rather bumpy road of being a fan of Batman. Now, I'm not an expert when it comes to the comics. So you guys see mistakes that are made that I don't see. But
well, that's something that happens, and I tell people when they go, well, I like the film, and I'm like, well, you weren't educated in things that like Script Doctor and I were educated in, writing, creative writing. I spent 30 years in writing, and not just doing comic book art, but focusing on storytelling and structure. And so we're going to spot those things. And so it's no surprise when other people go, well, I didn't see that. So don't worry about it. I mean, not everybody that's in the movie going public is educated in filmmaking or writing.
Right. Like for example, like I liked the first two Nolan films. The third one, I don't know what the hell that was.
That's the one a lot of people have problems with.
But Dark Knight, for as much as I do honestly like it, it's not a Batman movie. It's a Joker movie. So I mean, it's me that in a way that it almost doesn't.
Yeah, the Joker is really the star of the film.
The Joker's the star of the film.
Yeah,
and so when it comes to a big screen Batman, for me it's Keaton, especially the '89 movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
probably
surprised
my
by that,
favorite one.
Yeah, down the list, I think that's pretty solid. I think though that I would also include the Batman from Mask of the Phantasm, because I thought that was a really damn good film. Oh, who did we just lose? Oh, Keith had to go.
Oh no.
Everybody's got stuff going on with their families today, so if he dropped out, it's probably over something like that. So,
that's
hope you come back.
Keith. I haven't seen Mask of the Phantasm, and I
God.
really need to see that.
So good.
I've had so many people tell me it's great. You got to see it. I've never seen it. So I got to go out there and find it.
Okay, no, it's so worth getting it on H. I think it's on HBO Max. It's so worth watching it in HD on a big screen. It is freaking beautiful. Like everybody likes the animated series, but the added craftsmanship and like the brush strokes in Mask of the Phantasm, it's stunning. You gotta see it. Okay, you just gotta see it.
And has
it exemplifies everything. Yeah, it exemplifies everything right about American animation. It really does.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Soul Assassin says, hope Batman has bat condoms and in that bat belt.
He does.
And somebody else pointed out something I like. Das Wolfen says, in the DC role-playing game from Mayfair, Batman's utility belt has an omni power with the ability to pull anything out of it that is needed at the time, which means to me that it has one of those stargates in it, so you can reach in and grab whatever's on the other side.
Quantum tunneling portal.
Man, a boom tube.
Boom tube, quantum. Yep, agree with both of you. So,
He's wearing a TARDIS around his waist, essentially.
I was going to
Yes.
say it's Time Lord tech. Yeah, he has to be a TARDIS. But,
Soul Assassin and Pacific 414 both said, deleted, you need to watch the movie because it is a treat. It is a great film. Kevin Conroy really is the voice of Batman.
Oh, yeah.
If it's
I
not
was
HBO
annoyed.
Max, then I'll definitely catch it.
I was annoyed with Greg Berlanti's fucking Flash thing. I hated it. I love that he used all those great actors, but and getting Kevin Conroy in there to play an older, more broken Bruce Wayne was interesting, but I couldn't stomach his fucking writing. So I never watched the show. I just looked at the photos going, awesome. Fuck you, Greg Berlanti. Just like Jeff Johns, you're a fucking idiot.
They killed Kevin Conroy.
Well, that was supposed to be the animated series Batman. That's supposed to be the future of the animated series Batman. That's such horseshit.
Too bad
what
they
do
didn't
to
have
him.
the balls. Too bad they didn't have the balls to do what Doctor Strange is going to do by having him enter the 97 animated X-Men world.
They are?
Oh,
what?
Yes.
Oh, that's
They're
cool.
doing the one that
I feel like he's in a
Disney's
Batman
launching.
costume in a trailer.
They're showing in Doctor Strange all of the past Marvel iterations are all part of the universe, even if they're in the multiverse.
Will
So they're
Nicholas
all
Hammond
part
be
of
in it?
I wish.
Oh, I hope so.
I'm going to guess even you know if they're going back that far too, they should also include Spider-Man 66 because
Dr. Ward should be in it.
Reno needs a nod.
I'm old enough to remember
Spider-Man
watching that
77.
on TV in the mornings before kindergarten. I would watch Spider-Man every morning.
There's a YouTube channel. I can't remember the name, but they are doing their own restoration of the 77 Spider-Man live action with Nicholas Hammond. I think they dropped one of their episodes about a month ago, I think.
Wow,
And that's how I
really?
found them because it was just in my mentions and I checked it out. And yeah, it's really impressive. I don't know if they do it through a digital scan or if they'd used an algorithm, but it's a better quality copy.
That's interesting.
Nice guy.
All right, let's get down because Tzvi has not gotten to say his favorite Batman yet.
Oh. Okay. It's a tough one. I mean, in terms of a movie with a beginning, middle, and end, I think Batman Begins probably holds together the best. I don't think it's a particularly Batman-y movie, right? I don't think there's been a Batman-y movie. The closest I think is the Snyder version. And I know people hate Batman versus Superman, but I like the power suit, right? I like the fight. The Martha line is stupid. There's a lot of padding in it. The way I watch it, I just flick past the bits I don't like, which is not that much. So I like that depiction of Batman. The first 30 minutes of Suicide Squad, the first one, awesome. Like, awesome beyond awesome. That Batman was freaking awesome, right? So I think
he's basically Frank Miller's Batman.
Sorry?
He's Frank Miller's Batman.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think my movie would have been the one that never got made with what's his name as Deathstroke and Ben Affleck as Batman. Who was it playing Deathstroke? I can't remember. In the Snyderverse,
I can't remember the guy's name. But,
Manganiello. John Manganiello, I think is
John Manganiello, yeah, something like that.
No,
yes. That's it. Yep.
What's his name?
Manganiello, I think, something like that. I could never pronounce his name right.
I have trouble with those Italian names.
That probably would have been my favorite movie. But what I was thinking about the version I would like to see is a modern day thing doing the same thing that Batman 66 was. Kind of like, I feel it will kind of look like the 80s Flash Gordon. You have that kind of like camp look, but make it like there was one time John Hamm was in a live action ambiguously gay duo. And that was kind of, imagine that on a big budget. Like,
I don't think anybody in this room
comedy, and it'll be deadpan, and it'll be hilarious, and it'll be relaxing, right? And it'll be fun. And I think people would really like that. People would really enjoy it just being silly.
I think the rest of the panel feels like
good
Pat
guy, a
here.
Boy Scout all the way through.
Well, for starters, it's Stephen Colbert and Steve Carell that are the ambiguously gay duo because they did the
that's
voice
right.
on SNL.
Okay.
I think Pat S says it here. No, he was not awesome. But all right, Flaccid, your favorite Batman?
Yeah, it's funny that everyone here is like talking about they love this campiness of Batman, but don't say anything about Batman and Robin because that is the most campy version.
I hated
at least
that
me
movie.
growing up. I know everyone hates that movie, but everyone here is like, I love Adam West and the bat spray. It's like, yo, bat nipples, anybody? No one's on
holy rusted metal Batman. The ground is full of holes. It's holy.
It was
that's Batman Forever.
The
but there's no
Batman Robin
nipples in the Adam West Batman, so that's already one up on it.
I'm just saying, like, if people want campy, I got a movie for you. You might have to rewatch it. But mine, for me, because I grew up, I'm not even in my 30s. I know I'm like the youngest person probably in this panel. I grew up with the animated series of the Bruce Timm, was it Paul?
Denny.
What's it called? Denny. Yeah,
Denny.
They're great. But for me, the best on screen for me was Christian Bale because it just hit me at the right time when I was growing up. It's a great origin story. He used 3 lesser-known villains that really haven't been tried ever again. Oh, well, actually, no, because who's his name? Falcone's in this one here.
And Batman Begins, you mean?
Yeah, in Batman Begins.
And Nolan's such an idiot, he can't get the name Ra's al Ghul right. He keeps calling him Ra's al Ghul.
I call him Ra's al Ghul. But I love the casting. I love Liam Neeson in it. He's great. The depiction of Gotham City is actually really well done in this, especially if it's supposed to be a more realistic take. And they go away from that, unfortunately, in The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. It has that kind of gritty Gothic feel in it that in this new Batman movie they return to, because the city itself is a character. And I think people forget that it's supposed to be this kind of like hellhole, like
well, and they treated the 89 and 91 films that way, or 92 films that way.
Yes,
Gotham
I love
Gotham.
Animal.
Yeah,
in 89, 80, to me, that's like peak Gotham is 89.
Anton First designs were pretty amazing.
But I like Alfred in this too. Like, he's way more of a father figure for him, and he doesn't really have that role in his life. At least, especially at this kind of younger age. I know
you're talking about Michael Caine.
Yeah, I'm still talking about Batman Begins, and then I don't know. There hasn't been a perfect Batman on screen. If you want to say Mask of Phantasm, that's fine. But because Burton and Snyder's Batman, he's always killing people like left and right, and that's not Batman. And Schumacher's too campy. Yep. At least in the most realistic version in Christopher Nolan's, he doesn't like actively look to kill people. He's actually trying to keep to his code. That's what I like about him too.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree with you on that part. At least Nolan got that point right, where Batman has a code, but it's just
And Christian Bale might be the best actor, period. If you take him outside of their respected movies, who is the best acting chops? I think he's better than all the other ones.
Yeah, I think that Bale is a good actor. I've seen him in a lot of films before he was in Batman. I mean, even before what was that movie, American Psycho, which he was great in that fucking movie.
Mm-hmm. American Psycho and Equilibrium. He was really good. In
Equilibrium was one of those pleasure films for me to watch. Gun Kata.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
He was great as a kid. That was an awesome movie, was it? Empire of the Sun?
Empire of the Sun. He was in Newsies.
Well, he's been acting the longest based on his age. Like, he started younger than all the other actors that played Batman.
Well, he was in this great film when he was in his late teens, early 20s with actor John Hurt. I think it was called All the Animals, of which he plays someone who was he had brain damage from an injury, so he's very mildly retarded, and it was just a wonderful portrayal of this character in that film and his relationship with this man, because he had to run away from home because it's an abusive home, and he got to use his natural Welsh accent because he is Welsh, and everybody knows how lyrical the Welsh accent is. Jeez, it's probably one of the prettiest accents around and best at doing Shakespeare. And I don't know if you agree with that, Svi, but that's how.
It depends on the role. I mean, like Henry V, probably a bit weird, I'd say, but
because one of the main characters is Welsh.
Yeah, that's where I first saw him, was Henry V. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys aren't giving enough credit to Robert Lowery and Lewis Wilson, but it's okay. The first guys to play Batman in movie series.
Oh,
Sorry.
in the serials.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, yeah, that's right, the serials. No, I enjoy them. I own them. Every once in a while, I pop them out to watch it. They're corny. I hate the Batmobile, and I hate
the
how
Batmobile's
his
terrible.
horn will tilt to one side when he's doing stuff, and I'm like, oh.
I like the offshore New England accent that they give for Bruce Wayne. Like he's trying to sound like basically an East Coaster, even though they're clearly in the West Coast when they're shooting that. And
and there's one actor that played Robin that was just like, his voice didn't match his body. He looked like a fucking pro wrestler midget, and or dwarf. And it's like, hey, you expect that voice. Hey, how you doing there? Yeah, hey, Batman, let's go get these guys.
Douglas Croft or something, whatever the guy's name was.
Batman versus the Wizard. Just some guy in a black KKK outfit.
Oh, and yes, that's another good film. Brett was The Machinist. He's way too fucking method, in my opinion, now, because what he's done to his body did damage. It's the same thing with what's his name, Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Well, Bale stopped doing the weight stuff these days. He
almost killed himself.
Yeah.
You got to watch out
because
ketosis. People aren't aware of ketosis, and it'll fucking kill you. It'll kill your kidneys if you lose weight too quickly and don't take enough fluid. You have to drink lots and lots of water to flush all those toxins out of your kidneys. Otherwise, they start ripping it apart and fucking just stop your kidneys from working. And that's what happened to Matt Damon when he lost the weight. He had kidney problems. I didn't hate the proto Batmobile gadgets again. Want to see Batman level up as the sequels land. We're going to see, look, there's a bit of schadenfreude with me. I fucking hate Walter Hamada. Many of us do. Mm-hmm. So we want this Batman film to fail on a certain level, because if it succeeds, that means Hamada gets his Amy Pascal deal where he gets to keep coming back. And because he will be gone this year.
I don't think there is any failure in Hollywood. Like
there is.
There
is. No, let me tell you, T, there's lots of it, and I tell you, a lot of it is earned.
They keep making Star Trek Discovery. How could you fail more?
This is all about a contract. Really, It is. It's about one fucking contract, because Sherry Redstone had the intention of pulling Star Trek back away from Kurtzman, and Les Moonves at H Hour fucking sealed a contract that fucked everyone with Kurtzman. And Kurtzman has a solid contract that they have to lose a lot of fucking money and make him one of the richest men in Hollywood to fire him.
Wow.
And
did someone say
the truth?
I can't believe we're stuck with this completely failing Star Trek.
Yeah, and we're stuck with it now to where it needs to do like Doctor Who did in the 90s and just kind of disappear for a while.
Yes, a long time. I think that I don't know if the damage is even repairable. Actually, it probably is.
Well, at this point, it really feels irreparable. The damage done to Doctor Who, the damage done to Star Trek, the damage done to so many of these fucking properties that we love. It feels like the damage is irreparable. But I say, let it lie dormant for a few years and then see how we feel in 5 to 10 years.
Time heals all wounds.
Hopefully, I'll be dead by then.
Did someone say pup pass? Did someone say pup pass?
But is Hamada's link only to this particular Batman iteration, or is he also connected with the Flash as well? Because and also the Batgirl HBO Max thing.
It's a really good chance his name is going to be associated with Batgirl, but Batgirl I predict is going to be an absolute dismal failure. Just from the look of the costume, I'm like, yeah, they're not going for the fans.
Yeah,
you've got a built-in fan base to guarantee ticket sales.
Yeah. Here's a question that you have to pose to yourself as a creative: if you need 2 different actors to play 2 iterations of Batman in your movie titled The Flash, you probably don't have much faith in the actual script of The Flash.
Yep. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
going to be another shit show, I'm afraid. So
Yes,
agreed.
But-
Hey, Jolly, welcome to the show. Glad
Joy!
Hey guys,
who was your favorite Batman, buddy?
Well, I just first I want to apologize. Sorry I'm late. I was paying my prostitute in nickels. You know how it is. Takes a while.
Takes a while to count them out.
Right. But no, I was listening in a little bit while you guys were going on here, and I'm not sure if you touched on this, but I'd like to point out the one actor who's had more Academy Award nominations than any other actor in history, and that actor came in and grabbed that role by the nuts and gripped it tight, and everybody loved him for it, and that is Jack Nicholson as the Joker. And when he did that, it spawned this ongoing for the next 4 movies. They try to one up and with the bad guy. They bring in all these big talents like Danny DeVito, Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, all these guys on the top of their careers trying to one up Jack Nicholson and what he brought across in that first movie. And I'd have to say that Heath Ledger himself had to recreate the Joker completely to get away from Jack Nicholson's Joker. Yeah. And so I just got to tip my hat to that first Batman movie. A lot of people don't realize Batman's not Batman without his villains.
Amen.
And
nobody can deliver a line like this
The
one.
scarier he makes it, the more the kids are going to like it, and that's what was his philosophy. And
Well,
you can find interviews all over of him talking about that role and how much he loved doing it.
Well, and it's the first time in film that he allowed makeup to be put on him.
Oh yeah.
Because he never wore movie makeup in any of his films previously. Yeah.
What about when he was the werewolf?
That was after.
Later.
That was after.
wasn't it?
Was that 91? I thought that was
in the
87.
Yeah, a little bit after.
No, it was in the 90s. Batman was the first film Jack Nicholson, because I remember an interview with him at the time, and I was like, you never had makeup? And I went back and watched some of his movies, and I'm like, oh my God, yeah, you can see him schwitzing, and yes, I get that from my Jewish siblings, schwitzing. What you mashugana. Anyway, Nicholson never wore makeup until Batman, and then he's worn it again since then because he did Wolf, and I've seen him wear makeup in other films as he got older, and I'm like, that was so weird that was the transition movie for him, was doing the Joker. But nobody delivers a line like him. I mean, when he delivers that line, where does he get those toys?
Oh, excellent!
Wonderful toys. Yeah.
But my favorite they cut out is when he turns to Bob. Well, don't just stand there, Bob. Go ask him.
Ask him. Yeah, they cut that out. You're right.
I'm like, why did you cut that? That's a great fucking line.
What kind of a world do we live in where a man dressed like a bat gets all my press?
This
town needs an enema. Oh, yes.
It's a great performance. And they so much so that, like you were saying there, Snow, they by the time you get to DeVito, then you get to Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. They're just being the Joker. They're not being
They were
Two-Face
copying him,
and
exactly.
Riddler. They were just trying to be the Joker, and they ruined Two-Face. That's why Two-Face is terrible in that movie. He's not a tragic gangster. He's just a cackling lunatic, just like the Joker.
Yeah, I fucking hated that movie too.
All right, then here's
I barely liked Batman Returns. There were things in there that just sort of bugged me.
Well, Michelle Pfeiffer is, let's face it, she was just over the top, holy shit sexy in that show.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
can't go wrong with her.
And she really put
that
that
is the only
bird in her
Batman
mouth,
painting I ever did was for my son Benjamin. I did a painting of Catwoman and Batman.
And she actually
that
put
movie.
that bird in her mouth. I mean, that's dedication to the character.
Yeah, birds
Absolutely.
are filthy. They're gross. What the fuck?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so real quick, Snow, you said your favorite villain, which obviously is Joker, and I think that's pretty
Who's your
universal
favorite
for that.
Batman?
Who's your favorite Batman, or what's the best Batman movie? Not just the character, but the whole movie.
Yeah, what movie?
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to probably go with, and I'm not a huge comic fan. I've always admitted that I'm more Marvel than DC. But from the movie perspective, and I haven't seen the new one yet, even though I'm starting to hear these reviews that I may not like it. But I got to go with Dark Knight. I mean, Heath Ledger, the script in that one was really, decent. I liked the storyline. I liked all the actors. I liked, how it played out. Two-Face was used pretty well, I think, in that. Heath Ledger's captivating performance in Dark Knight felt like it belonged in a Batman movie, and I think it made Christian Bale's performance escalate from the previous movie. So I just got to tip my hat to that movie. It's so good, and I think that's why he got the Best Actor award. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree posthumously, and really good stuff. By the way, you have a lot of love in the chat. By the way,
a lot of connection there.
Yeah, everybody's saying hi to you. The lovely Sherry, everybody was like dropping Charlie. So there you go, buddy. And I want to get you more on the channel because you and Steven.
Is Nicole Kidman's ass in what was that one? Batman Forever. Was in fact perfect, right? That was the
Chase Meridian. Yeah, she was Dr. Chase Meridian.
She's like bed. Like draped over her. It's like just perfect, absolutely perfect. What movie was that? Is that Batman Forever or
Forever,
Batman
yeah.
Robin?
Yep.
Yeah, that was that was good. It detracted from the under par Uma Thurman. That was Batman Forever, right?
The movie that cost Val Kilmer his marriage.
Uma Thurman is in Batman and Robin. Nicole Kidman's in Batman Forever.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman looks like she's throwing out on coke in that movie.
Yeah, she plays Dr. Chase Meridian.
Well, she was married to Tom
the
Cruise
name
at the time,
itself.
so.
And her name itself is supposed to be the play on the fact that he's chasing the two halves of himself, Batman, Chase Meridian. So I didn't think it was very good. My problem with Joel Schumacher is he's really good with crime thrillers. He was awful with Batman.
Forever script was rewritten by Kiva Goldsman.
No. Right.
Another reason why I fucking hate that guy.
And Batman Robin too as well.
Yeah. Like quote unquote rewritten on the directive because the original two writer pair had something that was more in line with the previous stuff and Schumacher really dug it. But when Warner Brothers told him, we have to make this a bit more kids friendly because of some blowback we got publicly from returns, Schumacher was like, okay, as long as I still get the actors.
Tell who that blowback was from.
Oh, McDonald's and the parents.
Yes. McDonald's is what screwed Batman. Fucking McDonald's.
Even though they sold so many Batman Returns merchandise from the restaurants.
Well, it's the complaints they were getting about the toys from parents.
Well,
what
they
they mean is
complaints about the
moms.
Toys. They're getting complaints about the movies, about the movie and the fact that they had the toys because McDonald's made a killing selling those toys with their Happy Meals for the entire run. The problem wasn't the toys itself. It was the fact that the parents, when they saw what the movie was, were like, I don't want my kids seeing innuendo jokes.
Exactly. And once again, it wasn't the dads. It was the moms that were in arms against it. It was moms against Batman, against McDonald's selling Batman. And so, I mean, it's the same sort of thing that led to so many problems we have in the military. In the 90s, they had these things called stress cards that all of us that were in were like, what the fuck are you talking about, stress cards, where you hold it up during training and a drill sergeant can't talk to you. And that came about from moms in the 90s in the U.S. Army.
Oh, for God's sake. And look what happened.
That sounds like
look what happened. Whoops, there goes the ball.
Yep. And we knew that too. We were like, oh man, I swear to God, because that's where woke began is with moms.
Trophies were not good. Right?
Woke began with moms.
Yep.
So here we go. It's been a great show. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thanks for showing up at the last minute there, Snow. I'm glad you were able to make it. I'm sorry Keith had to leave.
Yeah.
But we've reached the end of our program. I think we've all pretty much said what we wanted to say about the new film and talk about Batman in general. I do want to go one by one with a score of 1 to 10 for those of us who have seen Batman, the Batman, and get your individual scores. Let's start with you, Loki.
Well, originally, I was going to give this film a 5, but because it made me laugh, it's Batman. Let me in. Hello, let me in. It's Batman. Because I was laughing and people were looking at me like, oh my God, why is he laughing? I gave it a 6.5 because it did make me laugh. I mean, how many times can you hear, Dear Bat Diary, it's October 31st, and Alfred brought me a turkey sandwich instead of ham. I think he may be a villain in disguise. And you're just laughing at it because it
you
gave
make
me
the connection with the Lego movie.
yeah,
exactly.
I'm not supposed to. You're not supposed to, ladies and gentlemen. You're not supposed to be laughing at the stuff I was laughing at. Clippity cloppity, Batman's on his way. But because it made me laugh and smile, I give it a 6.5. If not for that, it would have got a mediocre 5.
Okay, so I got a 6.5 from Loki. What do we got from you, Clobberin? Because you saw it too, right?
Yes, I did see it. I again, there were things I liked about it, so I was close to the mid range, like a 5 as well. But and it didn't make me laugh like Loki. I wish it had. That would have been maybe go higher. But I see what he's saying. It's I just can't really recommend it that much. I go with a 6. I mean, again, it's certainly that's about my middle range for most live action Batman movies, to be honest with you, because I'm a Batman snob, I guess. So there are things I like, but that 3-hour runtime is going to hurt it. I can tell you that.
Well, it really. I did not start drinking until the second hour, honestly, because I knew I needed to make it through the film. And as a diabetic, I drink. I'm going to pee soon. So deleted scenes. Your score. Did you see it?
Okay. I
You've
did
not
see
seen
it. And
you did see it.
I did see it. Yeah. All right. A couple of
10.
comments about it because I didn't get a chance to say it before. I'm giving it like a 6 out of 10. I liked the first half of the movie. It was I thought it was a very strong crime drama that put me in mind of L.A. Confidential and The Departed. And I really liked the design of Gotham. And I really wanted to live in that world, much like I wanted to live in the world of Blade Runner.
But that's Glasgow for you.
Yeah. And then when they...
I've been to Glasgow. I know how hellish it looks.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful in a Gothic way,
Yeah.
but it is very, very hellish at night when you see it. Anime, Brandon, did you see it?
I have not witnessed it all the way through. I just started on, so I'll reserve judgment. But
we'll get your score
Is
later.
it available on the high seas?
Yeah, it should be here in England now.
I haven't seen it.
Definitely go to the sites and watch the camera version.
Is it? If I get a good copy, on in an illegal way, I will watch it and then I'll buy a ticket online.
Well, I'd like to hear what your final score is on it. All you guys that didn't see it yet.
I will say this: if you have the opportunity to see it in theater, see it in theater. Yes, watching it at home is a way to bypass all that. You are going to be missing some great sound. There is something to be said of that chasing that Jerry was talking about.
Jerry, fuck you.
Jerry.
Scary.
I know it's Gary. where you're hearing that engine and the rumble, and it's almost like your seats rumbling. There is something to be said about the audio in this movie, which is very good.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Others, I fucking love that chase scene, and I love the symbolism of the chase scene. Script, my friend, what was your score overall?
I don't score movies.
Does that mean you don't go out on dates with them either?
I don't sleep with movies. I sleep with women.
I know. Fuck you, buddy. Tzvi, you have not seen it.
I have not seen it. I have no opinion as yet.
I will get you to give us your score later when you do see it.
I'm looking
Flaccid,
it might be 45 days from now. If it's not, that's when it's coming out on the HBO Max.
I don't know what everyone's problem with this movie is. I kind of came in late, so I couldn't argue my point, and we are kind of off it. But besides, like the second half or last third of the movie, that feels very unfocused, and then that's where you feel the runtime. The first part of this movie is great. I have no problem with runtime. Return of the King, long movie. I'll sit there and watch it any day of the week because it is paced well. I think it's just because that last part of it is not paced well that it suffers. But I give it an 8. I like a lot of the things they did. They course corrected a lot of the stuff that Nolan was going in, and even parts of Snyder's universe did. And I know there's some things that I kind of want them to correct if they're going to do a sequel, which they most likely will do. But I enjoyed this movie. However, it's a dense movie, and I don't think it works for rewatches. You don't turn this on like it's on TNT, and you're like, oh, I'll sit down and watch this. This is something that's kind of more dense and needs a commitment to it.
All right, I had to write script doctor doesn't score movies. There we go. I wrote that. And Jolly, did you see it? You saw it, right?
No, I haven't seen it yet. But I listened in on Midnight's Edge yesterday. They had like a 4-hour show on this, and I really trust Script Doctor's opinion on that. He had a great analogy on it. So did the one that shocked me, I think, was Andre, because Andre said the first 2/3 of the movie was the best Batman movie he'd ever seen. But then the last third of the movie just literally ruined it for him. Also, Latino Slant kind of said something similar, which kind of shocked me and threw me back a little bit. So I am interested to see it, but I don't know if I'm going to go out of my way to see it. But I did want to touch real quick and say my favorite Batman is definitely Michael Keaton, and I probably will go see that Flashpoint movie or whatever just to see him in that role again.
I agree. I'm looking forward to that shit because once Zaslav has performed the Red Wedding for Warner Brothers, we're going to see a shift. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to be great because you still have a plethora of woke people. It's like the warning I give people about Dark Horse Comics taking Lucasfilm's comics back. They get all excited about it. I'm like, whoa, there's a lot of woke people working at Dark Horse. So don't get too excited yet until you see what they put out. You know?
That's right.
I'm lucky I got to do my one G.I. Joe cover with IDW, and that's because of the bond and friendship I have with Tom Waltz, the senior writer, because he took over and he wanted to make sure that, because I was hired in 2014 to do covers for G.I. Joe, and the guy that took it over after Andy Schmidt went to Hasbro, the guy that took it over didn't like me on a personal level, even though he didn't know me because I'm a veteran and conservative. So he's like, fuck that asshole. And I never got to do any of my work, but Tom came in, and God bless him, he got me my G.I. Joe cover. And Hasbro loves my cover. They fucking love it. They told me. And I'm super stoked. It's this month, March issue, that my artwork's going to appear. So keep your eyes peeled. And if you want me to sign it, fuck you. No, I mean, yes, I'll sign it. I'll sign it for you. But as Fat Steven Seagal would say, give me money, give me money, give me money. No, I will do it for free. Just pay for the postage, and I'll gladly sign any issue of the comic. If you guys love G.I. Joe, I'll do it because I love G.I. Joe. Of course, my G.I. Joe was the 12-inch tall action figure.
Same
but
here.
My son played with the little ones. And I remember the joke that came out in the 80s. It says, why do all the G.I. Joes look so angry? And the comedian said, because anybody would look angry that was squished from 12 inches down to 2.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Sean Wilson, I don't think I know Sean, but glad you're here, man. Thanks for dropping in. I think that my score for the film was a 6.5 to possibly even a 7. I'm going to watch it again to make sure my opinion is solid, because I think that cinematically I enjoyed the film. Structurally, I hated it. I hated the writing. It was just so. I expect good writing when you have a thriller, a mystery thriller, where you have top of their game detectives need to be delivering top of their game dialogue. And we didn't get that at all. There was none of that in the film. They're delivering things late, and that annoyed me. But I enjoyed the cinematics. I enjoyed the performance. And fuck, I enjoyed the Batman violence. There's nothing better than seeing someone get their ass handed to them. I thought it was dumb with the whole vengeance thing. And that is part of the plot of the story, the whole vengeance thing. And I'm like, again, bad writing. But anyway.
Gary, you pointed something out on Twitter, and I'd like to bring it up real quick because this is like
what is it safe?
Yeah, it's safe. This is why you invited me here, because I commented on this. In an age where we have been delivered shit sandwich after shit sandwich after shit sandwich, when you have a shit sandwich that smells and looks better than the rest of the shit sandwiches, people are giving this a great, oh my God, it's great, it's the best Batman, yada, yada, yada. And that immediately, when I read that, after you wrote that, I was like, dude, yes, abso-fucking-lutely. That's exactly how I feel
Well,
when
look,
I see.
we all become shit connoisseurs because the shit factory has been like this since really the 70s is when it started at the dissolution of the studio system. The way films were made and why they were made were different. And we saw the advent of what's called the summer blockbuster that started in 75 and was cemented into place in 77 by Star Wars and Close Encounters that year. But Jaws started it all. And so now it's corporate filmmaking. It's been corporate filmmaking for a long time. And with corporate filmmaking, you get shit. You get a lot of garbage. You get shit. And we all have consumed this, and at a point you become a shit connoisseur. Oh, this is good shit and that's bad shit, but it's still shit 90% of the time. And it's a sad truth. But the fact is again, is the movie entertaining? It's sort of like the American Bandstand. It could have been a crappy song, but can you dance to it? Yeah. I give it a great grade because I could dance to it. And that's your average movie-going audience now. It's like I was entertained. And as Caesar would say, are you not entertained? And that's really where we've come to in cinema. But you got guys like Script Doctor and myself in particular who got educations in screenwriting, writing in general, creative writing, as well as how to build the structure of a story. And we are a little more critical. And some people will go, well, that's your opinion. It's like, it's not just my opinion, it's my professional opinion. So when you say that to guys like Script Doctor and me, you're not saying just opinion, you're saying professional opinion. And because we're more knowledgeable about how films work and how they're supposed to work. And you can like a film all you want to, doesn't mean it's not crap. I like crappy films. I like this film.
Mm-hmm.
I liked The Batman. I enjoyed it.
I have a weird
I was
spot
annoyed
in my
by
heart
it
for the
but I
Dukes of
enjoyed it.
Hazzard film with
Yes.
Broken Lizard for
I
some
fucking
reason.
love that film.
Yes,
And
yes.
anything by Broken Lizard, I will fucking watch. Even Slammin' Salmon. I fucking love that movie.
Oh, April Bowlby is hysterical in that.
Oh my
Well,
God.
Gary, it
Mother
reminds
of
me
God.
it
Mother of
reminds me of the
God.
conversation that we had. We talk about McDonald's, and McDonald's is there. It's okay. It'll sustain you, but when you're fed a
talking about my
constant
comment
diet of that,
about yeah,
and then
difference
getting the
between a
nice
Big Mac and a fucking filet mignon is what we're what you're getting at. Yes, I agree. It's that's exactly what you and I were talking about, which is you hit a point where it's like, yeah, I can eat the shit out of the McDonald's food. It's fucking awesome. It's fun. That's movies. And then every once in a while, you get a movie that's an actual filet mignon. My problem is when somebody tries to pretend they're a filet mignon by shooting it to look like a filet mignon, but in fact, they're just a glorified Big Mac, and that's the Batman.
Yes, absolutely.
And now people go, well, that's my reason to not watch the film. And I'm like, no, I say watch the film. Now, I agree with oh shit, who said it? It was Brett Cohen said it. Let me find it real quick. $45 for rumbling seats. I get what you're saying there. I took Deanna and David to see it the other night, Thursday, and that was $40 for the three of us.
Yeah,
and
it's
well,
expensive
it was a little over.
movies.
It was a little over 40. It's like 41 with tax. And but
That's
it's
another reason
ridiculous.
I'm not going. I'm like, why would I spend that?
Well,
And people-
I spent.
people are
I think
losing
I
their
spent.
shit.
I think I spent 55, and that was just two people.
Just on the
That was
tickets?
me.
Oh, that's
That
crazy.
no.
Oh, wait, did you go to
That
AMC?
was I went to the Cinemark. I went to the XD, the bigger screen, the better sound. But you add in 2 drinks, a popcorn, and a candy. That's $55
Yeah,
right there.
I paid $25 for a chili dog and chips once at a movie theater. And I'm going to tell you something. One of the things that we were warning early on, Keith and I, with this transition, the changes that are taking place due to streaming to the cinema complexes, okay, is the price of tickets and the fact that we're going to see varying prices. AMC is the first one that was charging different prices for Batman. And they got called out in the news.
In England, Odeon's charging a surcharge for it.
and it's just for the Batman. And since COVID, this is going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to see price gouging and on ticket prices, and that alone can kill audiences going. They don't think about that. They don't. And AMC, I thought they got smart when China was removed. They're no longer part of it. But then they're making decisions like this, and I'm like, that's not a smart move. It really isn't. They're trying to make up the difference for the losses they've had. So there you have it. But I want to thank all you guys for giving your scores, except for Script because he's a score movie. You pretentious prick. I love you, buddy. I really do. I love Script. Only person on this planet I've ever spent 9 hours on a phone with.
Wow.
Script.
That's a long ass time, man.
You and I talked for 9 fucking hours. Yeah,
that's amazing.
You and I spent 9 hours on a phone call just talking about movies.
You guys want a room alone together? You guys want to?
We had a room.
Never again.
Classic. Fuck you.
Was there a bathroom?
We won't do that
expensive
again, man. We got
lodging
shit we got to do, including sleep. But I want to thank all you guys for being here today. It was great. I wish Tom could have dropped in because Tom, Script, and I got a lot of heat for what we said yesterday. And I don't fucking care.
I didn't get any heat.
Well, I jumped in when I saw you jump in, and hopefully I took some of your heat.
I don't even know. I don't even see anything on my Twitter feed.
Oh, really? Oh, man. Tom got some heat, and I got some heat then.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because you're so damn nice and Canadian. I don't know. You Canadians are so sorry for everything. Sorry.
It's how we can be very offensive without being blatantly offensive.
Oh, I'm so sorry you're a cunt.
Yeah, exactly. How you do that?
But I really like the fact that seeing that the three of us, even though we don't all completely agree in how we disagree, but we all agreed that it was not a good film or a great film. It was an average to good film.
It was
Not
the
great.
McDonald's of films.
It is not the great film that people are trying to say it is. It is not.
It's on par with the Batman and the Sun stuff.
IGN needs to have their ass kicked for giving it a 10. They're complete, total twerps.
Who?
IGN and those fuckwits, they gave it a 10. Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Doesn't have any
Script,
credibility.
what did you say?
It's on par with like Batman and the Sun productions of things.
Oh, those Batman versus Wolverine.
I mean, yeah, costumes are really cool, but they can't write to save themselves.
Who doesn't fucking enjoy those videos? I fucking love them.
Oh no, they're great. I mean, they're great to
I
watch.
agree with you.
It's a great showcase of cinematography and stunts and costumes. But yeah, they can't write to save themselves.
Oh, and Viking, you're so right. People being pussies about it, it just is
That's
so
right.
sad.
That's right.
And they
That
are.
right
They're
there.
being pussies about it. I don't care if somebody's, vagina gets bruised by me saying that. Live with it. Write your congressman, see if he gives a shit, because I don't. People have to understand that you can dislike a movie and still be friends with someone. And,
Imagine that.
Imagine that. When you go out of your way to attack somebody, especially someone with a professional opinion, not just a personal opinion, a professional opinion, it's fucking goofy. It's like, because we know more than you when it comes to the story structure and how films are supposed to work. And you go, well, that's your opinion. It's my professional opinion. And go fuck yourself. But the fact is, we still enjoyed the film. So go see the fucking movie unless you're paying $45.
See it for yourself.
That's
Yeah.
insane. $45 is crazy. But you Australians are going through some crazy shit right now. You're almost as bad as Canada right now with the shit going on in your country. God bless you. And I love you, Brett. I'm glad you're always watching our show. Get more of your Aussie friends on here. I like to see us have a good day. Anyway, this is Gary from Pop Culture Minefield. Keith is not here. I will talk to him later, see what's going on. I hope everything's okay with him. Many of us are experiencing family drama right now. It's a really weird time of year, I guess. I don't know. Maybe time of month. I'm not sure. Oh my God, did I say that? Time of month? Oh, nobody went, ooh. I expected one of you guys to fucking call me on that. None of you did. All right, fine. Mark,
I'm married.
Movie has flaws, but enjoyed the second time around, didn't fall asleep, and picked up some plot points and things I missed the first time around. Mark, you should have come on today. I would have loved to have had you on. You need to let me know when you're available too, so I can invite you.
He's a good buddy. He's a great individual there.
Yes. I love Mark D with the C. He fucking saved my job. I was worried I was going to get fired from the G.I. Joe thing because I couldn't get my computer to work right when I was doing the artwork. And he fucking gave me the right instructions. He found out a secret about my laptop.
That's why he's my chief engineer. He's the chief engineer of Clobberin Times.
Yeah,
but he has a great channel himself as well. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's all right. Yeah.
It's all right. I want to thank all you guys that are here. Please make sure before we leave to share your link in the chat. Svi, did I make you a moderator yet?
I don't think you did, but here I'll say hello to you again. Let me find the thing.
All right, let me get on there and find you, because I got to make sure that I make you a mod.
There you go. Doink.
All right. It's not popped up yet. Let me refresh. I'll just hit refresh. Oh, I need to make. I think I made Magitech.
Yeah, Mags is
okay.
Mags is, and actually, I've dropped the link a few times. I'll drop it one more time for you.
Oh yeah, do that for me real quick. But I still need to make sure I make Svi a mod because I want to have him back again.
As I said, I like being had. I don't put up a fight.
You won't put up. Oh, I'm getting the fucking.
Yeah, Rabbi, you got a great channel there, man. I enjoy your
thank you.
Your Doctor Who and comics knowledge, and dude, I'd love to talk Doctor Who with you one of these days, man. It's a Doctor.
Well, we will do a Doctor Who episode.
Just hit me up anytime.
Well, when we do ours, what we're going to be talking about is basically where we're at, where we were, and where are we headed with Doctor Who, because I want to do a comprehensive episode.
Oh, sure. I'd love to have a
thing.
Yeah, nice.
I bet you would, you limey prick. I mean, Rabbi.
Yes, I'm very proud of my limey prickness.
Hey, can I say something real quick? I got a what's it called a change.org link to try to get Zach's removed from the Salty Sea, Texas Sea YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm very passionate about this cause. Zach's does not deserve to be holding the coattails of Salty Texas Sea, and he just needs to be knocked down. So if anyone just wants, just go ahead. Yeah, it's in my. I'm gonna pin it, so it's my pinned. We can be the change, guys. Come on.
Zach's is a monster.
Go. Yeah, and he's Canadian.
I am not affiliated with any of these people. Just sub to me. Forget everyone else. And no, just go.
Zach's is a Hulk.
No, sub to everybody here. They're all cool. Except
Steve, did you comment? I still don't see your comment.
Yeah, really? It was there. I think you missed it.
I'm looking for it. I have to add Baron's not a mod. I've just made him a mod. But I'm going to go ahead and end the episode. I figured we'd ended it at a half hour, hour and a half, but we're hit almost 2 hours. It's always fun talking to you guys, and it's great having some of you guys on here for the first time, specifically Svi. I'm glad that you guys are in my sphere of influence. So, because all you guys have an impact on me, and if I never said it before, I'm saying it now. And if it's too gay for you, well, too bad. I love you. So
we love you too, man.
Love you too, man. But with that, I'm going to end the show. I want to thank you all for being here. And as Keith and I always end our shows with, get off our fucking lawns. We're old guys. We don't want you on our fucking lawns. Get out of here. Go do something. It's Saturday, for Christ's sake. Go do something fun.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please remember to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Remember, you can find us at Pop Culture Minefield on both Facebook and Instagram. Thank you again.
Y'all come back now, you hear?